Caretaker Prime Minister Apisit Wechashiwa insisted that UNESCO had not endorsed Cambodia's proposal to manage the area surrounding the Pravihan Temple as claimed by Cambodia. Dr. Pailin Chuchot-Thawan said today the country's electricity generation will not be hit by the gas leakage in the Gulf of Thailand. Thailand's baht traded near its weakest level in almost 5 months after overseas investors reduced holdings of the nation's stocks on concern of post-election situation. Stay with us for 1 hour afternoon update on global and ASEAN business news with Nattakorn Plotdi and Ong Anand Amatayakun on ASEAN Business Report. Good afternoon and welcome to ASEAN Business Report. Today is Wednesday, June the 29th of 2011. You're with me, Ong Anand Amatayakun.
And Nattakorn Plotdi. Kun Ong Anand, we only have 4 days remaining before the general elections, right?
That's right. This coming Sunday, we're going to get to know who will be the next government to uphold Thailand's and be taking care of the country, as well as having their responsibilities in various issues, including and especially about the Pravihan disputed
Exactly.
temple.
This dispute has been long gone, and the implications of Thailand walking out of UNESCO's conference yesterday has started to show itself as Prime Minister Apisit Wechashiwa insisted that UNESCO had not endorsed Cambodia's proposal to manage space surrounding the Pravihan temple, as the matter would be considered again at a later date. Earlier, Thailand expressed its intention to withdraw from UNESCO's World Heritage Convention after Cambodia and other members of the convention tried to go ahead with a proposal to manage the sensitive area in Thai territory. Apisit said the next government will make a formal decision on the issue of withdrawing from the World Heritage Convention. Thailand's Army Region 2 spokesman, Colonel Prawit Hukeo, said earlier that there was some redeployment and reinforcement of Cambodian troops along the border followed Thailand's intention to withdraw its membership from the World Heritage Convention on Sunday. He added that there was some arms training taking place, such as using grenade launcher and artillery on Cambodian side. Thai government has insisted that the WHC postponed consideration on the plans as it fears that the plan may threaten national sovereignty. Natural Resources and Environment Minister Suwit Kunkiti earlier announced Thailand's intention to quit the convention, but the withdrawal would have become effective only 12 months after the submission of a written request to the UNESCO director. Suwit said in his letter to the UNESCO director Irina Bokova that the formal instrument of denunciation would be made in due course. Suwit, who led the Thai delegation to the World Heritage Committee meeting at Paris last week, reported to the cabinet on his decision to walk out of the session and the announcement of denunciation. The action is to protect Thai sovereignty over the territory adjacent to the Pravihan temple. Panita quoted Suwit as telling the cabinet.
And just a moment ago, our reporter gets to talk to Kun Suwit Kunkiti about this matter of how will the next government be handling the situation of Thailand walking out of the WHC.
I think the most important thing is that, first of all, I don't think that we should really exchange just membership of the membership of the convention with our territorial integrity and sovereignty. I think the UNESCO and World Heritage Center and the committee they have to make it clear that the management plan can only be done after the demarcation is done. Right. Because when it was inscribed, they didn't follow the convention, nor operational guideline or rule of procedure. So all of that have done illegally. In terms of the legality of the inscription. So if they don't correct that, it's create tension, as you've seen that when it was inscribed in 2008, before it was inscribed, there's a lot of tourists from Thailand, from all over the world visit the site. But thereafter it was inscribed, it was closed until now 3 years already. And after that, there was tension that built up until they broke into fighting between Thailand and Cambodia 7-8 times already and killed many innocent people, and also create instability along the border, which against the principle, the foundation of UNESCO and World Heritage.
That was a reply from Minister Suwit Kunkitti. And now another pressing matter is on the PTT gas leakage. As Dr. Pailin Chuchottawan said today, the country's electricity generation will not be hit by the leakage in the Gulf of Thailand. He said PTT had sent remotely operated vehicles to examine the damage caused to the pipelines so that there could be repaired. If there is no seawater inside the main pipelines, gas station transmission could be resumed shortly. Regarding the secondary pipelines, there will be further examination of the damage. Besides the electricity generation, the accident would also affect the petrochemical industry, which uses natural gas as feedstock. Energy authorities are also rushing to address the higher cost of generating electricity as a result of the gas pipeline leakage off the coast of Rayong. The Electricity Generating Authority of Thailand, or EGAT, who uses the natural gas from the pipelines to generate electricity, earlier said it expects the problem to be fixed within 2 weeks. Power generation costs could rise by about 1 billion or 2.5 stang per unit, based on EGAT's estimate of the repair time. PTT Chief Operating Officer for Gas Business, Pailin Chuchottawan, hosted a press conference this morning regarding the PTT pipe leak, and another discussion will follow in the afternoon at the Energy Ministry. Prime Minister Abhisit Wechashiwa expressed concern on the power supply and remarked that the cost must not be passed to consumers during yesterday's cabinet meeting. Energy Permanent Secretary Norkun Sitipong assured that the ministers that there would be no disruption to the power supply or shortages of natural gas for vehicles or liquefied petroleum gas. And for this matter, we get to talk on the phone with Kun Avin Soni, petrochemical analyst of Asia Plus Securities, the international division. Welcome, Mr. Avin.
Hi, yes.
Hello. Regarding the PTT gas leak, I would like to ask, how long would it take to solve the problem? Would this be a long-term or short-term issue?
Okay, at this point of time, PTT doesn't really have the right answer or the exact answer to give to us. Because they still cannot send the submarine people into the people under the water to check at the damage. But from what we know right now, or what we can guesstimate up to a certain extent, is that the damage should not be, or the power shortage should not be like more than 2 weeks to 3 weeks at the most. The problem that they're right now trying to estimate is whether the damage is to the main pipeline or just to the transmission pipeline,
right,
which goes into the pipeline number 1. So if that's the damage is just to the transmission line, then the problem should be cured in a matter of 1 to 2 weeks at the maximum.
I see. And Mr. Avin, will the leakage problem have an impact on PTT's stock prices and other related petrochemical stock prices as well, according to the data we already know?
Okay. According to the data that we know, like most of the analysts have assumed worst-case scenarios. You know, you see earnings impact ranging from 600 million baht a month to almost 7 billion baht a month. So the share price that has already been reacted over the past 2-3 days, in my view, already reflects the worst case scenarios. I think that from here on, there's very limited downside. And once PTT comes out with the clear answers, which should be this Saturday, we should get better share price performance at the PTT level. At the subsidiaries level, the impact is very minimal. If you look at it, PTT-EP doesn't it's not PTT-EP's field. For PTT-CH, the total impact is less than 10% of its total feedstock. And on the other hand, it also has 14 days of inventory left. So the impact to PTTCH will even be like less than 0.5% of earnings, considering that a delay of gas supply is for at least 1 month. That's in the worst case scenario. Just to add on to the power industry, definitely PTT is trying its best, and you're not going to see any impact to the electricity system of Thailand.
That's good to know.
Well, definitely we are having a disruption at the moment and definitely a supply shortage of gas. So how will we compensate for this? Is it EGAT going to be providing PTT or other providers?
Right now, what PTT is doing is it's importing LNG and it's also importing fuel oil to compensate for this lost capacity. So there isn't going to be any impact from that. As to the higher cost, most probably it's going to be impacted into the FT charge, which might rise a little bit, but the impact at that line is still not sure as to where the regulators are going to decide whether it's going to be PTT that pays or whether it's going to be the customers. But at the end of the day, PTT has insurance for all this damage. So I think that it could be a shared cost that is with the customer as well as PTT.
Okay, thank you for your share of information, Mr. Arvind.
Thank you very much.